Welcome back, or if you are new here, my name is Ellen Henry and I am a circus performer and coach, and today's video is about 5 essential handstand cues that you should be thinking about when you are in a handstand, because there is so much information out there and it can be incredibly overwhelming when you're first starting to handstand, because it's like all of this information attacking you and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to be thinking about my core, my legs, my heels going backwards, just, too much information. So this video is for those beginners that need just some simplified things to think about when you're doing your handstand. Now, today is nice and simple, just 5 things. Also, I know I've talked about this in the past, which is stacking and alignment, and I think for beginners it's a bit hard to try and focus on all of the complex things that I talk about in that video. And I think it's really important for beginners that stacking is not the be-all, end-all when you're first starting to handstand. I think there are some other much more important things that you should be focusing on when you are first starting out. And there are just 5 things today, so to keep it nice and simple when you are working on your handstands against the wall or in your drills, just think about like one thing from this list when you're doing a drill or an exercise, and just focus on that one thing so you're not worrying about too many things going on. So, number 1, you want to make sure that you are pushing the ground away. So when I say that, I'm actually talking about your shoulders. So a lot of the time when people handstand, sometimes you'll see their shoulders are really far down, and when I say you want to push the ground away, you actually want to push the ground away and cover your ears, or at least try to. You're not actually going to get there unless your hands are really close together, but you also don't want to do that. Pushing the ground away and covering your ears is actually a really specific part of your shoulders that you are activating, and there is one great drill that you can do to work on this, and it is shoulder shrugs. Like, seriously, just shoulder shrugs in a variety of different positions, all the way from like a beginner standard to like advanced. So I have a little video explaining all of those shoulder shrug drills, so check that out for those exercises. Tip number 2, squeeze your legs together. None of this floppy stuff. I've talked about this before. If you've seen my how to walk in a handstand, is squeeze your damn legs together. None of this floppy stuff. Having a floppy like legs, mid-body anywhere is just gonna make handstanding a million times harder, because you'll have all these separate limbs like putting you off balance. Whereas when you are like one tight unit, then you're just balancing that one unit compared to like 50 million different limbs. Okay, tip number 3. It's all about the hands. Now, sometimes you see some very odd hand positions when I coach, and I don't know why. When your fingers spread out nice and wide, you get more surface area on the ground, which helps you to balance, and then also gripping with your knuckles will help to balance as well. Super important. So none of this like weird like peeking and like half your hand is not on the ground. Nah. Tip number 4. Now, this one can be explained a lot more complicated that I've done in my stacking videos before, but the main thing I want you to think about with this is sucking your tummy in. So a lot of the time you see people's tummies like dropping out in this like, you often see it in the banana handstand shape. When I say you want to suck your tummy in, I want you to really think about, pull it in and almost like round it to try and counteract that banana shape. I also explain some great lying down on the floor drills for practicing sucking in that tummy, because once you go upside down, sometimes, things get confusing. Like, it's a different land upside down. So I have a little video where I explain some stacking lying on the ground drills, so check that out if you want some more information on that. Tip number 5 is all about tension and power in your kick up. Now, this is the secret to getting that kick up to handstand, because so many people that I see, the most common thing that I see that hinders people from actually kicking up into a handstand is not enough power and no leg tension. Like, that's all you need. That bottom leg, you want to push off it. You want to have most of your weight in it, push your leg up into the air, and as soon as you push off that leg, you want to point and engage those legs. Like I said before, squeeze those legs and bring them together up the top. And this will help you to keep your body nice and tight. And those are the 5 essential tips that you should be thinking about when you're in a handstand, when you're just beginning out. So as I said before, just pick like one thing and practice that, and then move on to the next, so that hopefully by the time when you're focusing on something else, you've practiced one of the other tips enough that it's starting to get a little bit more ingrained in your body and in your head. Because when I handstand now, a lot of this stuff just comes as second nature to me, because I've practiced it so much that it just happens now. So that's why it's really important that when you're first starting out, you practice and you really focus on all of these essential cues. If you do focus or try on any of these handstand cues, tag me on Instagram. I love seeing what you guys are working on. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, because it really supports my channel and the YouTube algorithm. And subscribe if you want to see more, and click that little notification bell if you want to be notified anytime I upload a new video, which is usually once a week on Sundays. And I will see you guys next time. Bye! Thought I wasn't filming for a second there. I'm not having any of that. Alright, and that was